where you can hear the hunting horn behind myself and Chris as the players do finally emerge. Bobby Madley, the referee, and both teams in their first choice colours this evening. Leicester in all royal blue, Southampton in the red shirts that are divided into a light and dark red half, black shorts and white socks. And let me run you through the lineups that we brought you at 7 o'clock over on TalkSport. Leicester, 2 changes, out go Chowdhury and Cody, despite excellent performances in that win over the Baggies at the weekend. Ricardo Pereira and James Justin take their places, so it's Mads Hermansen in goal for the Foxes. Ricardo Pereira about fast, Yannick Vestergaard once off Southampton, and James Justin in the back 4. It's the same midfield and front 3 as on Saturday lunchtime, so Wilfred Ndidi, Harry Winks and Kiernan Dewsbury Hall in the middle, Abdul Fattahu, Jamie Vardy and Steffi Mavididi up top. On the bench for Leicester, Connor Cody, Callum Doyle, Hamza Chowdhury, Patson Daka, Dennis Pratt, Tom Cannon, Yunus Akgun, Casey McAteer and sub-goalkeeper Jakub Stolarczyk. As for Southampton, 3 changes that Russell Martin makes, one of them enforced. Injury to Stuart Armstrong rules him out for the season and possibly out of the Euros with Scotland. His place goes to Joe Rothwell. Will Smallbone and Ryan Manning drop out? James Bree and Joe Rothwell come in for them. 4-3-3 as well for the Saints. Alex McCarthy is the keeper. Then it's James Bree, Taylor Harwood-Bellis, Jan Bednarek and Kyle Walker-Peters in their back 4. Joe Aribo, Shea Charles and Joe Rothwell in midfield. David Brooks, Shea Adams and Adam Armstrong in attack. And a quick look at the bench for the visitors. Ryan Manning, Jack Stevens, Joe Lumley is the sub-keeper, Will Smallbone, Kamaldeen Sulemana, Samuel Edozie, Ryan Fraser, Jaden Meghoma and Tyler Dibbling. And our referee, as I mentioned, is Bobby Madley. Scarves go up around us. Chris and I are sat towards the back of the West stand here at the King Power Stadium. We are sat opposite. If you've got it in your mind's eye when you see Leicester City games on the television, we're sat opposite where the cameras point out from. So the Southampton support, and there's about 3,000 travelling Saints fans who've made their way up from the Solent. They're over in the northeast corner away to our left-hand side. So the north stand to our immediate left, the south to our right, and Leicester will attack the north stand to our left in this first half in those all blue shirt, short socks. Southampton in the red, black and white. They will be heading for the south stand to our right hand side. We're pretty much on the halfway line. Doncaster have equalised at Colchester not long after going behind. It's 1-1. Luke Molyneux has got them level at the job served. Still 1-0 to Cheltenham. And Southampton will get us underway. It's first against fourth. Leicester won here on Saturday. Back-to-back wins would surely have them almost as near as damn it in the Premier League next season after one season out. Underway then on TalkSport 2, and Southampton immediately trying to work it down the left-hand side. Walker-Peters playing at left back tonight. He's switched. He played at right back at the weekend, but with James Bree on the side for Ryan Manning. Usually when those two play for Southampton, Bree goes right, Walker-Peters goes left, and it's back with Alex McCarthy, who's played the last 2 in goal because of injury to Gavin Bazunu, who's out for the season. Out to the left-hand side it goes, and it's knocked back by Adam Armstrong infield, and high press from Leicester City in these early stages, forcing Aribo to flick the ball onto halfway. Ricardo Pereira gets something on it. Fass will lob it over the halfway line, looking for Fatou to head it infield. It finds Vardy, who's caught for a challenge by the Taylor Harwood-Bellis, the centre half, and it's a free kick to Leicester at midway point of the Southampton half, 0-0.
I've got to say, Leicester really impressive without the ball. Obviously Southampton take the kick-off. It goes out to Walker-Peters. Straight away they're round them, they get possession. Southampton get it back, but go back patiently. Ndidi, just watch the work ethic of Ndidi, because he will get as close to Shea Charles every opportunity. When they go back, he steps forward.
Harry Winks with a free kick. Southampton holding a very high line at the edge of the D. Swept to the far post, but Aribo has time to cushion it down for Adam Armstrong, who just volleys it downfield. There's nobody in the Southampton shirt on halfway, so back it goes to Hermansen, 0-0.
Everything was great there. The ball came in, Aribo was comfortable, he was aware of his positioning. The little set to Armstrong, yeah, perfect. Armstrong has to drive with that. You can't just give it straight back to Leicester. You know, you're a good footballing side. You drive, invite the challenge, try and just keep possession of the football.
Ball's back with Mads Hermansen, the Leicester keeper, once again just outside his own penalty area. 2 minutes gone on TalkSport 2. 0-0. Leicester have a pretty decent home record, the third best in the division. 16 wins, 1 draw and just 4 defeats, and 42 goals scored in front of their own fans, just 16 conceded. Excellent record. But there is this thought process that Leicester only know how to play one way. If plan A doesn't work for Enzo Maresca, they go to plan A. Let's see how it works out tonight against Southampton. Back it goes to the other keeper out there tonight, Alex McCarthy.
I think on that, what you just said there, I think when a manager comes in and he tries to implement his style, if you have a plan B, then you stick to it. You know, win, lose or draw, you do the same thing. The same information goes to the players and they take it on board. Look where they are, they can still reach 100 points. And everyone's saying, oh, disappointing. Yeah, they're sitting top of the table.
Well, they were way clear, 12 points clear in February, and there was talk of eclipsing Reading's points total record, but they didn't manage it. Plays back underway. Leicester won a free kick inside the centre circle, and Vestergaard and Fast back together as centre-half partners combined. It's sent out for Mavididi on the left-hand side, but Bree heads it towards this near touchline, and indeed he lets it dribble over the touchline for a throw to the Foxes, almost level with the Southampton penalty area left-hand side. 0-0. You're just tuning into TalkSport 2. Arsenal-Chelsea getting underway over on TalkSport. That's our other live commentary choice this evening. Throw into the Southampton box is cleared away by Harwood Bellis. Adams fighting for possession with the defender Vestergaard, but it's won back neatly for Southampton by Joe Rothwell. And now Shea Charles, one of the players brought into the side tonight by Russell Martin. Bree out to the right wing, just keeps the ball away from Mavididian. Bree has it back again. We'll give it back to the edge of the area. Harwood Bellis, Bednarek just next to him. Arsenal already in front against Chelsea over on TalkSport, says my clearly disappointed Chelsea supporting producer. Leandro Trossard has put Arsenal in front. I don't think I've ever heard a more depressed sounding producer give me goal information in my life. I don't know what he was expecting. 0-0 here at the King Power. 4 minutes gone. Leicester in possession in the centre circle with Ndidi. Knocks it back to Fass, just inside his own half. Slides it out to the right wing, and Abdul Fatawu, this youngster on loan from Sporting in Portugal, who had a bit of a blip mid-season but seems to be back somewhere near his best form. 0-0.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think that's what it's about. It's not a bad time to come into a little bit of form as well. You look at Wout Fass, he's been struggling a little bit. I thought out at left back at the weekend he done okay, but straight away every time he gets the ball this evening he's going to the wide man. If it's going to be
Dewsbury Hall wins the ball back at the edge of the area, drives down the left hand side of the box. Can he keep his feet? He can get the crossing from the dead ball line straight into the arms of McCarthy. 0-0.
Excellent from Dewsbury Hall. I think he's got to take the shot on when he gets into the 18 yard line there. Took that extra touch, allowed 3 Southampton players to get near him. He's got that quality and he has to pull the trigger there.
That's the voice of big Chris Suelamo alongside me, Ian Dante, here tonight in the East Midlands. 5 minutes gone. 0-0. Ball's back with Mads Hermansen, the Leicester City keeper, who's kept 12 clean sheets so far this season. Both managers standing at the edge of their technical areas. Enzo Maresca definitely tracksuit, Russell Martin a bit more smart casual. Out it goes to James Justin in the left back position, but the ball in field was almost taken off the toe of Harry Winks by Joe Rothwell, but in the end he toe poked it behind for a Leicester City goal kick away to our right hand side.
Well, you see exactly what Joe Rothwell brings, you know, that energy, you know, everything. He's anticipating on the front foot, he's aggressive in his way of thinking there. Russell Martin, little round of applause, even though he tried that kind of blind pass round the corner. You know, that's what Russell Martin wants. If it's on to play forward, play it forward with quality, but with pace. Put the opposition to the sword.
Wow, Cheltenham 2, Peterborough United 0. Cheltenham doing all they can to try and stay in League One. Matty Taylor gets the second at the completely Suzuki. Arsenal 1-0 up on Chelsea. 0-0 here on TalkSport 2 at the King Power, as down goes David Brooks, who was caught as he was running back into his own half to collect the pass from Southampton, and James Justin took him down. Free kick to the Saints.
Well, I'm going to have another look at that one. I think Brooks, very clever. You know, he felt the contact. There's not a lot in it. Very, very soft one to give away there from the referee Madley, but you can see by James Justin he was not happy.
How much is Southampton going to miss Stuart Armstrong tonight? You watch him a lot, of course, for club and country.
Yeah, you know what? I think he's very, very technical player, but he's got a great engine on him as well. But it's experience, you know, the way that he communicates, he leads, he's a leader out there, and yeah, it'll be a massive blow, but you look at the quality and depth that Southampton have.
Well, Stuart Armstrong may not be going to the Euros, but Chris is. So look out, German beer killers. Here's Steffi Mavridis into the area left-hand side, tries to drive it through a crowd of Southampton players, not once but twice, and then hooked towards goal by Dewsbury Hall, but it's deflected out to the right-back position where Bree will clear for Southampton, looking for Shay Adams. Adams goes down a shoulder charge with Vestergaard, and neither player is penalised, and play continues, 0-0.
I think it's spot on. You know, I think Shay Adams, if anything, it's Vestergaard that's fouled here. He's trying to get under the ball. Shay Adams comes in behind him, puts the kind of shoulder in the back. I don't mind the referee allowing that one to play.
Colchester 1, Doncaster Rovers 2. Colchester were ahead, now they're behind. Harrison Biggins has a second for Doncaster, who have designs on the top 7 and a playoff spot. Colchester are all but safe, but they just need that extra point to be absolutely sure of being clear of Sutton United come the last day of the season on Saturday afternoon. Here at the King Power, it's all about the top end of the Championship rather than the bottom end of League 2. Leicester City 0, Southampton 0. No real gilt-edged chances for either side quite yet. Was that handball by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall? It was. Spotted by Bobby Madley. Free kick to Southampton on halfway, 0-0.
Yeah, he's unlucky there. He's still having a little pop at the referee as well. We'll have to have a little look at that one. But you're looking at...
What, because he actually saw him handball it?
Yeah, very fast. Even the goalkeeper Hermanson as well. They're trying to play it over the full-backs of Southampton, Kyle Walker-Peters and James Bree, because the likes of Justin and Ricardo are bombing forward, and that is the outlet. When Southampton in good possession of the ball, they do leave those pockets in behind full-backs.
Dewsbury Hall spots Ricardo in space on the right-hand side on Fatawu, but he's overhit the pass, goes about 5 yards behind Fatawu and out of play for a Southampton throw. That goal for Doncaster, incidentally, puts them up into 6th in League 2, above Barrow, and Barrow are playing tonight as well against Bradford. That's 0-0. So Doncaster firmly in the playoffs going into the final day. Here's Dewsbury Hall, centre of the Southampton half for Leicester. Out to Fatawu, right-hand side, into the area at the right-hand corner. Lays it back to Harry Winks, urged to shoot by 1 or 2 around us. But it goes back to Fatawu, driving for the byline right-hand side, but it can't get the better of Carl Walker-Peters, who stayed on his feet for Southampton and won possession back for the visitors, 0-0.
Excellent defending from Carl Walker-Peters there, always eyeing the ball. You know, Fatawu's doing the body movements, throwing the shapes left, right and centre. Kyle Walker-Peters eyeing the ball all the time, good work in his feet, and then as soon as it goes a little bit too far away from Fatawu, body in between ball and man, and comes away with an excellent defender.
And that goal for Cheltenham that has them 2-0 up at Peterborough means they go on to 44 points, 2 points behind Burton Albion, ahead of the last game of the season. Cheltenham's last game is at Stevenage, who are out of the playoffs. Burton go to Fleetwood, who are already relegated. Here at the King Power, 10 minutes gone on TalkSport 2. 0-0 between the leaders Leicester and 4th place Southampton. Free kick to Southampton inside their own half, and Bednarek works it up to Joe Rebo, who scored the early goal that put Southampton ahead at Cardiff on Saturday, which they thought would be the first of many, and they had plenty of chances, we're told, in that first half to be 4 or 5 clear of the Bluebirds, but they ended up losing 2-1. Now Fatawu, right-hand side for Leicester City, into the area, gets it on his left and drives it straight into the arms of McCarthy. Good industry from Abdul Fatawu down the Leicester right, but the shot was straight at the Southampton keeper. First big chance of the game, 0-0.
It's brilliant from Fatawu, who goes in between Walker-Peters and Armstrong there, and it does everything right, opens up the goal. He'll be so disappointed that he's fired it right at McCarthy there. He's got to try and find that bottom left-hand corner, really try and bend it round that centre back. I think it was Bednarek that was in front of him there. Just try and bend it round Bednarek there and find that bottom corner.
Pulls that play for a Leicester City throw down beneath us on this west stand side, taken quickly by Justin. Jamie Vardy scampers to the dead ball line. Cross takes a deflection off Bednarek, making it awkward for Walker-Peters. Dewsbury Hall calling for it inside the area, tries to get it on his left, and as he took the shot, it was blocked by Harwood Bellis, headed out of the box by Bree. But Leicester have it back. Winks takes it out to this left-hand side, and Jamie Vardy, who collects the ball eventually right tight to this near touchline. gives it back to Justin. Winks again, finds Ndidi, left-hand corner of the box, shapes the shoot! Only just wide. Big effort from Wilfred Ndidi. McCarthy at full stretch, but it went just the wrong side of the post for Ndidi. Southampton goal kick, 0-0.
Well, we were right behind that. We had the angle. I'm thinking it's going right into the top right-hand corner there. Two big opportunities. Jimmy Vardy keeps the ball alive. Yeah, gets a little bit fortunate with the deflection. It goes up and over McCarthy. Fatawu has to just give it to Dewsbury Hall first time. He took too long on the ball.
Didn't see him, did he?
Yeah, he didn't. He's there. It was blatant, wasn't it?
Mavididi now for Leicester as they really start turning the screw here, the hosts. Down by the corner flag, left-hand side. Faced up by James Bree. Mavididi checks onto his right, clips it to the far post. Fatawu goes up with a header. Vardy goes in on the goalkeeper, but the ball's blocked behind for a goal kick. It came off Vardy last of all, but they're starting to ramp it up here, Leicester City, 0-0.
Yeah, they are. And this is a much better start than it was at the weekend. You know, in control, playing with a purpose. You know, got an identity, try and get into wide areas and end product when they're successful.
And Southampton, of course, trying to play past the Leicester press. Rebo was just caught by Winks at the edge of his own penalty area, so Southampton have a free kick, 0-0.
What does that say about Winks being there? I think it's outstanding. On the front foot, what I already mentioned about Ndidi, can you step forward when Southampton, as they do time and time again, they play back, they try and recycle it, they try and be patient. Don't allow them to be. Go on the front foot and go and harry, go and press.
Bednarek will take the free kick for Southampton. Adams comes just inside his own half, but it's sent wide for David Brooks, who will not win the header against James Justin. But Leicester's flick over halfway is a little lazy and allows Southampton to get possession back. McCarthy, the goalkeeper, clips it right-footed up to halfway, headed up in the air by Vestergaard. That allows Che Adams to knock it down to the right wing for David Brooks. What a capture on loan he's been from Premier League Bournemouth for this second half of the season. Ostensibly he got the game time so he could be ready for Wales at the Euros, but of course that was not to be. And he's playing in the same team as Jan Bednarek, who is going to the Euros with Poland. Here's Yannick Vestergaard, just inside his own half for Leicester. Winks turns in the centre circle, almost runs into Joe Rothwell, but knocks it back for Vestergaard. Now Justin in the left back position, still inside his own half, forced to give it back to Hermansen, the goalkeeper. Russell Martin applauds his players for forcing that Leicester move to go back to their goalkeeper. Hermansen 10 yards outside his own area, lofts a right-footed pass down the right wing. Fatawu does really well to head it in field above Walker-Peters, but Vardy couldn't control it, and Charles will now release Walker-Peters because Fatawu was on the deck and just picking himself up. So Southampton have got a bit of space on the left-hand side. It's with Adam Armstrong, works it back in field to Shea Charles. Charles looks up and finds Rothwell in the centre of the Leicester half of the field, drifting out to the inside left channel, turns away from a couple of Leicester players and gives it back to halfway where Harwood Bellis and Bednarek exchange passes. Charles again in the centre circle, finds Rothwell trying to drive through a couple of Leicester shirts, but just lays it off in the end. Leicester are really keeping everything tight and not allowing Southampton to play through them at this point.
Well, you've already called it. Where does Southampton want to play? They want to play more centrally, play through the thirds. And look at how compact Leicester are, working very hard, I have to say. You know, but I think Southampton then have to then think, okay, what can we do? We've got to be expansive, get out into wide areas. Both fullbacks, you look at Bree, you look at Brooks down this right hand side, that understanding, can they cause problem in the flanks? And then that pulls Leicester out, and then can you then go and play?
15 minutes gone, 0-0 on TalkSport 2 between Leicester and Southampton. Bradford lead at Barrow by a goal to nil. Bobby Poynton for the Bantams, who started the night only 4 points off 7th, so they've got a say potentially in the final day, and we'll have Barrow sweating on what they have to do on the final day to secure a playoff spot. Fascinating stuff all around the EFL tonight, even though we've only got a handful of games to keep you updated on. So elsewhere tonight, Arsenal lead Chelsea by a goal to nil. Cambridge Wickham in League One is 0-0. Cheltenham 2-0 up on Peterborough, trying to save themselves at the foot of League One. Barrow 0, Bradford 1, as I've just mentioned, and Colchester 1, Doncaster 2. Free kick to Southampton back here at the King Power at 0-0 as Fatawu was penalised for a challenge. It's drifting out to the right hand side looking for Brooks, headed away by Justin, but a lovely first time cushion pass from Rothwell, who gets it back from Brooks, and now David Brooks again releases Rothwell down the right hand side, tries to chop it onto his left and slipped as he chopped inside on the greasy surface, and that allowed Leicester to win the ball back and chip it downfield. 0-0.
Yeah, it was the right idea from Rothwell. That understanding between himself and Brooks was very evident to see there, but a little bit of trickery. It was the right idea, but like you say, his footing just lost his footing there, and he's so much energy. He's getting rounded players in the wide areas, overlapping, underlapping, and that's what you want. He's putting the foot in.
No goals yet here on TalkSport 2. We've played 17 minutes. Vardy claims he was being manhandled by Taylor Harwood-Bellis on the halfway line, but the referee Bobby Madley waves it away, and Shea Charles in the centre of Southampton's midfield will lay it back. Walker Peters pressurised by Fatawu, but just couldn't get there in time, and Bree plays a neat ball in field, and Che Adams can turn, fires it out to the left wing looking for Aribo, who did really well to bring it under control on that left hand side. He had no right to slide in and keep possession of that. Rothwell now for Southampton, lays it back to Charles in the centre circle, plays a square ball to his right for Bree. Bree back in field to Charles once more. He knows he's got Dewsbury Hall breathing down his neck, so it goes back into the Southampton half, and Jan Bednarek out to the left hand side. Bednarek slides the ball up to Shea Adams, who comes back from the halfway line, keeps it well, and finds Aribo. Was he caught off the ball by Fastwell? The referee waits play on, and Adam Armstrong getting away down the left-hand side. Ricardo Pereira for company. Armstrong rolls it across the edge of the box. Rothwell takes the touch, leaves it for Armstrong, drives it into the feet of Fass, and it's half cleared away by Leicester. That's the first decent chance that Southampton have had all night. And away come Leicester on the counter. Dewsbury Hall goes down, but again, Bobby Madley waves play on because Fatawu has possession. Dewsbury Hall back to his feet. What a recovery from Dewsbury Hall, who was rolling around 10 seconds ago, and it's 0-0. But first chance for Southampton, Chrissy Wellerman.
Yes, the game's getting played at an excellent pace. Armstrong just in behind. The weight of pass and quality of pass was excellent. Took his first touch, and then
Ndidi now inside left channel for Leicester, out to the left wing for Mavididi, faced up by Bree, lofts it to the far post. Oh, it was a great run from Dewsbury Hall, but the header clear from Harwood-Bellis kept it away from him.
Yeah, he linked up very well with Rothwell. Rothwell takes one touch, just sets it inside the D, and he comes around. It's an excellent block from Fast there as well, or I think it was Vestergaard.
19 minutes gone, goalless. Ndidi again for Leicester City. Finds Winks driving into the inside left channel. Places it out to the left wing for Mavididi. 10 yards from the dead ball line. Back in field it goes to James. Just in urge to shoot. Blocked by Harwood-Bellis. Comes out to Ricardo Pereira. Now Fatawu, right-hand corner of the Southampton box, away on that north-east side. In it comes to the box. Indeed, he can't get the power on the header or the direction. It drifts wide, but he had pretty much got in front of James Bree, Wilfred Ndidi from that right-wing cross. But the header drifts wide for a Southampton goal kick, 0-0.
Well, I've got to say, excellent attacking play from Leicester there. Mavididi does the right pass, cuts it back to James Justin, who I think has to have more belief in taking the shot on there.
Southampton can't get their way through the Leicester press. Indeed, he wins it back, shovels it back to Winks in the centre of the Southampton half, and then he slides it out once again for Abdul Fatawu, right hand side, checks onto his left, sweeping cross, Mavididi at the far post, turns it back across the face of goal, and brilliant defending by Bednarek with Vardy in behind him. The flag's gone up anyway to deny Leicester the chance to get a corner. It's a free kick, 0-0.
Well, I think Jimmy Vardy's looking up to get a yellow card here as well. I've got to say Mavididi does everything right, keeps the ball alive, goes across, McCarthy gets the hand on it.
Yeah,
that's what Vardy should be.
Yeah.
That he should anticipate Mavididi's going to keep that one alive, and you know if he does, he's got the run on Bednarek there. He's beaten him in the air, you know, but he's lucky not to get a yellow card there from Robert Madler.
20 minutes gone. You're listening to Leicester 0, Southampton 0 in the EFL Championship, live on TalkSport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get tasty rewards points. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. More live football tomorrow. Everton-Liverpool, the Merseyside derby. Adrian Durham is there at Goodison along with Sam Matterface and Stuart Pearce. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff here on TalkSport 2. I'll be up at Old Trafford with Mickey Gray. Manchester United against Sheffield United is the TalkSport 2 exclusive that we bring you tomorrow night as well. But here at the King Power Stadium, on your home of the EFL, we wait for the deadlock to be broken between the Foxes and the Saints. Saints have a throw in their right back position. Bree can loft the ball up to halfway. Adams knows he won't beat Vestergaard in the air, so he lets the centre half win the header. Lovely quick feet from Dewsbury Hall, flicks it out to the left wing, but it just skips away the ball from Steffi Mavididi, and Southampton once again have a throw in their right back position 10 yards from the dead ball line. 0-0.
Yeah, I think Mavididi just caught in his heels there a little bit. You've got to know your players. Dewsbury Hall, great little turn, the ball got away from him a little bit, so all he can do is overstretch and try and poke it in the path of Mavididi. I think Mavididi, if he's on his bike already, he's getting that and he's getting himself into the 18-yard box. But yeah, just watch ball watching.
Leicester have won it back yet again inside the Southampton half. Here's Fatawu, gets a shout from man on from about 20,000 Leicester fans as Adam Armstrong was herring in at him. Goes out to the right hand side in Dewsbury Hall. Fatawu again, level with the edge of the area. He's got Carl Walker-Peters backpedaling, gets into the box, but Bednarek just puts his right foot into the ball and clears it downfield. Brooks cushions the header down looking for Shea Adams, but it will drift into the Leicester half, and Vestergaard will win it back, the former Southampton man. Then there's a foul on Ricardo in the centre circle by Rothwell, and he's spoken to by Bobby Madley, who did speak to Jamie Vardy after that challenge, and it'll be a free kick. It's Aribo, who made the challenge in the centre circle.
Yeah, I think he's got to be very careful. Silly challenge to make. Aribo, he was never going to get there. You know, I think Robert Madley, I think great officiating, have a good chat, but if you brought the yellow card out there, there's no argument.
Midway point of the first half. Southampton, who conceded 2 or more goals in 9 of their last 20 matches, against the Leicester side here at home, who've scored at least 2 goals in 7 of their last 10 home games, and yet we're still waiting for the deadlock to be broken. Lovely ball clipped out to the right hand side for Southampton, and David Brooks, who rolls the ball in field to Adams just over the halfway line, spots Adam Armstrong in the left wing, cushions a pass down to Joe Aribo. He gives it back out to Adam Armstrong, Southampton's top scorer. Patient build up from Southampton as they work it back to Shea Charles. Now Harwood Bellis on halfway.
You've done everything so well, you know that, missing players out, going out wide in both flanks. Leicester were out of position and then they slow it down, they come back. That's where they've got to be a little bit aggressive and forward minded.
An aggressive run from Joe Rothwell, but he runs into Abdul Fattah, who wins it back for Leicester. Now Mavididi. Early ball trying to get Jamie Vardy in behind Harwood Bellis. Vardy will get there down the left wing, but he's had to drift very wide to pick up possession. Early cross into the box. Cushion headed down by Bednarek for his centre-half partner Harwood Bellis, and now Aribo has it just ahead of the D outside his own penalty area. They are very calm in their own defensive third, Southampton. It's not like they're playing chicken with the Leicester City forwards. 0-0, Chrissy Wellamo.
Well, I have to agree. You know, I think they overplay in defensive areas. You know, you've got to remember, we go back to St Mary's earlier in the camp. They lost 2 goals against Leicester doing exactly that.
Dewsbury Hall slips it through. Fatou is in! Fatou scores! Leicester City on their way! Abdul Fatou somersaults in front of the Southampton faithful away in that northeast corner, but the rest of the stadium erupts in jubilation. Enzo Maresca celebrates. Leicester City had the lead just after the midway point of the first half. Dewsbury Hall to Fatou, cut inside on his left and slid it home brilliantly as Southampton gave the ball up needlessly in their own half. Leicester 1, Southampton 0.
It's an excellent goal. You know, talk to me. Is the finish better than the pass from Dewsbury Hall? What a pass that is. Cutting the defence. Fatawu's been a threat all night, causing all sorts of problems down that right hand side. Gets in behind. Takes an excellent first touch, sets it up, and then there's no missing that. You know, he's finishing it, making sure the contact's right, firing it into that bottom left hand corner. It's an excellent run, excellent finish. But for me, the Dewsbury Hall pass is even better.
Yeah, an exquisite pass from him. 14 assists for Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. And let's not forget the goal tally for Abdul Fattah. That's his 4th in the Championship this season on loan from Sporting. Now it's one back by Southampton as they try and respond immediately. Brooks, right-hand side of the area, hits it against James Justin, and it goes behind for a corner kick at the south stand end to Southampton. Leicester 1, Southampton 0.
This is the most important time, you know. I think you've got to be switched on. This is when you're looking at the leaders, making sure the players are switched on, concentrated, who you're marking, get into your position. No teams concede as soon as they score. So these 5-6 minutes so important that they weather it and they manage it well.
Joe Rothwell will take the corner in the southwest corner, right-footed, as he rolls it back to the edge of the area. Bree lofts it into the box, headed away by Ndidi. It drops for Kyle Walker-Peters in the centre of the Leicester half. He gives it to Bree. Bree tries a crossfield pass. It's blocked by the goal scorer Fatawu, who I think has taken one in the unmentionables. It's worked back to Bree just over the halfway line, and he finds Kyle Walker-Peters in the centre circle. And he plays a swift 1-2 with Bednarek, who's now working back into a defensive position. Harwood Bellis, his fellow centre half, finds Bree, and they're being a bit more patient now, Southampton. But they gave possession up in their own half. Leicester so quick when they won the ball back, and Dewsbury Hall, such a piercing pass to set Fatawu away for the opening goal.
Well, what I will have to say, I think Southampton, where's the best chance came from? When they get it and they go a little bit direct, and I'm not just playing a hoofball, I mean quality down the sides. They've got willing runners in the likes of Brooks and Armstrong. Armstrong then linked up with Rothwell to get that shot away.
Free kick.
They've got to do it more than
Southampton will work the ball quickly down the left-hand side. It's with Adam Armstrong. Fatawu's down injured inside the Southampton half, but Armstrong's going to go for goal. It's blocked by Winks, and then off the chest of Armstrong via a ricochet and behind for a goal kick. And Fatawu's writhing in agony inside the Southampton half of the field and needs treatment. Leicester 1, Southampton 0, 28 minutes played at the King Power Stadium. Chrissy Wellamo.
Yeah, I don't know if that's just the one that he's taken earlier. He's just trying to run it off, or is he taking another knock there, Fatawu? I'm just looking at the goal again here. It's his arm that's in an offside position. I don't think there's much in it.
Well, we are in a VAR-free zone, for which I am grateful, to be honest.
But it's great officiating from the linesman that side, because the first player he sees is the back of Fatawu. And you know how easy sometimes you can go straight away with the flag, because he is onside.
Well, certainly Russell Martin and Enzo Maresca had a discussion about the legitimacy of that goal and any potential offside decision. And the fourth official was right in the middle of it, John Busby. But it was heated, but not overly heated, between the two managers.
Well, you can read Russ Martin. He said that that's offside. Maresca's talking about something else, a challenge, and he says, yeah, but that's offside.
Chris Wellamo, the big man, alongside me as Fatawu's getting treatment. Gives me a chance to remind you that when we get to Saturday lunchtime, the final day of League One kicks off our coverage on TalkSport 2. 12:30, Chris and I will be at Pride Park. Derby County against Carlisle. Derby trying to keep Bolton at bay. There's a 4-goal difference between the two, and Bolton 3 points behind. Peterborough are losing tonight, so Bolton would need to beat Peterborough and hope Derby slip up against their former player Paul Simpson in charge of Carlisle. That's the game we're at on Saturday lunchtime, Chris.
Yeah, they're all big games, aren't they, this time of the season? Everyone's got something to play for at either end of the table. You know, I think you look at Derby, with the budget they've got, you know, it's in their hands, and that's exactly what Paul Warne would have wanted.
We'll also have a commentary team at Bolton Peterborough in case things shift in terms of emphasis on who may or may not get automatic promotion to join Portsmouth directly in the Championship next season. And remember, once we get to the playoffs, every single playoff game, semi-finals and final, live across the TalkSport network. We can't wait. And if I'm sat along Chris Wellamo for another playoff semi-final, I'm bringing protection. I'm bringing a Kevlar vest and all the padding I can muster. Because any more right arms across the chest. Yeah, I put a chair in between you and me tonight, so I don't get lumped in the chest with your right forearm as you make your points, as wonderfully as you do. Half an hour gone, back underway at the King Power. Leicester 1, Southampton 0. Fatawu will be back on the pitch in a matter of moments. In fact, he's back on now, so we're back to 11 against 11. Harwood Bellis for Southampton. Back it goes to Bednarek, and he'll go back via Harwood Bellis to his keeper, Alex McCarthy. Bednarek looks up just ahead of his own 18-yard line. There's not much movement on halfway, so he plays it short to Rothwell. Charles finds a Rebo, still inside his own half. Neat chopping field for Charles, but back it goes in the end to Bednarek, and Southampton have got to start again.
Ian, just look at David Brooks and Adam Armstrong. They're so expansive, they can't get any further away.
Chalk on their boots, yeah.
That's where the ball has to go, in behind.
Long ball downfield for Shea Adams, who barges into Wout fast as he tried to win the ball just outside the D. And Leicester City get a free kick. It's half-time at the Abbey in League One. Cambridge 0, Wickham 0, Cambridge no, winning 4. 5 points clear of Cheltenham at the start of the night, but Cheltenham are 2-0 up at Peterborough. That's a half-time score. So the Robins will be back within 2 points of Gary Monk's side going into the final weekend. And of course, League 2 completes its regular season Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. And we'll have reporters at all the important games, which really now centre around the playoffs, because automatic promotion has already been sorted between Stockport, Wrexham and Mansfield. Offside against Batous, who picks up the ball on halfway. Southampton take a free kick quickly on the far side. Rolled infield to Aribo just inside the Leicester half. Rothwell tucks it back to Charles on the halfway line. Just to his right is James Bree. Early ball out to this near touchline for David Brooks, who, as Chris Iwelumo has been saying, playing so expansively, waiting for possession to come his way down the Southampton right. Ditto Adam Armstrong down the Southampton left, but it's rarely, if ever, making its way out to them.
But that's when it comes down to the player to demand that and put the pressure on. Have that little conversation. Look at the space me and Adam have got. Me and Adam Armstrong have got. If it's going to be David Brooks there, if the space is in behind, they've got a full half to run into.
Balls out of play for a Leicester throw because Rothwell tried to find David Brooks but overhit the pass. Barrow 0, Bradford City 1 at a half-time score up in Cumbria. So Bradford edging towards having something to say on the final day for a playoff spot. Winks clears the ball out to his right-hand side for that pass. It's back with Hermanson being pressurised by Aribo. Now Southampton have got the press, but Leicester have played around it superbly. Ricardo, what a ball for Dewsbury Hall. Lays it off to Vardy, gives it back to Dewsbury Hall, into the area, checking it onto his right and then his left. Still going Dewsbury Hall, tried the shot and it was blocked by David Brooks, who came back to defend, but the speed with which Leicester City countered there was fantastic to watch. 1-0.
Oh, one-touch stuff as well, wasn't it? A little touch from Dewsbury Hall into Vardy, then he's in behind again. What I will say, Mavididi, you can use him as a to kind of commit the Southampton defender, pull him away there, and then Dewsbury Hall gets a shot away. He was stuck in between two minds. He has to release him, so Mavididi doesn't break stride and can come on and take it first time. But then as soon as he doesn't, he has to take the shot on, because then the defender's made his mind to try and go and get close to Mavididi there. So with the quality that he's got, he's such a fantastic talent. Those are the moments, the small margins.
That's the voice of former EFL and Scotland striker Chris Iwelumo with me on TalkSport 2. Leicester 1 up, and Mavididi getting to the left-hand corner of the area for the Foxes, lays it off to Dewsbury Hall. He's turned away and then he's caught by Shea Charles. No, he's actually gone down and handled the ball, and the referee says that's handball from Dewsbury Hall, not a free kick to Leicester. And Southampton get the free kick for handball. Rothwell turns quickly inside his own half. Finds David Brooks on halfway, tight to this near touchline, tucks it infield for Charles. He's caught by Ndidi, and now the referee's getting both barrels from all the Leicester fans around us for giving two decisions for Southampton that they don't like.
Yeah, but he was right. Dewsbury Hall never got touched, he went down, then he grabbed the ball, so it's a handball, it's a free kick. You know, so that one, yeah, there was a little bit more.
Shea Adams tries to turn away from that pass, but in doing so gave possession of Dewsbury Hall again, trying to release Vardy through the middle, but James Bree, as all good fullbacks should, on the cover, intercepted the pass.
Yeah, it was excellent from Bree there. I've got to say, I'm expecting Russell Martin to be shouting information on. They can't keep trying to play through centrally. Look at all the blue Leicester shirts in there. You know, go out wide. If it's going to your fullback, going to your wide man. Look at it, they're so well organised centrally. They have no joy, Southampton, going through playing centrally.
10 minutes to half time. I suspect Russell Martin will want to get his players in at the break and hope it is just 1-0 so we can reorganise and get his points across to his players. Incidentally, Chris Iwelumo's former side Colchester 2-1 down at half time at home to Doncaster in League 2. Doncaster into the playoffs after this extraordinary run they've been on. They were only behind Crawley on goal difference going into tonight with this game in hand. They've won 8 straight games before the weekend at Doncaster under Grant McCann. Brilliant run. Southampton were 25 unbeaten at one point this season, but here they are in 4th place. Hopes of an automatic spot drifting away, and they're 1-0 down here at Leicester City with 8.5 minutes to go in the first half on your home of the EFL, TalkSport 2. Leicester in all blue attacking the north stand to our left are in possession with Harry Winks. Two of the Southampton physios are just lurking behind Russell Martin. There might be a change coming up here.
Yeah, I think Rothwell's struggling. So, like you say, the game
Smallbone's getting his kit ready, I think. Meanwhile, long ball downfield looking for Dewsbury Hall. Lets the ball drop over his shoulder and tried to take it with him as he drifted down the left-hand side of the box, but the ball just wouldn't sit down for him. Southampton only get it half clear. Steffi Mavididi runs into Breeze. He tries to charge down this near side, the Leicester left. Played back to halfway, and Vestergaard finds Dewsbury Hall. He's everywhere for Leicester in this opening half of the game, really enjoying his football. The Leicester City Academy graduate, now Justin left wing, gives it back to Winks, plays a little 1-2 with Dewsbury Hall, but elects to go back into his own half. And Vestergaard hurried into a pass by Adams, and that's one back for Southampton by Adam Armstrong. And now Carl Walker-Peters is ahead of Fatawu down the left-hand side, but now Fatawu gets goal side and Walker-Peters checks the run, tries to slide it down the left-hand side of the area for Aribo, but Wout Faes on the scene brilliantly for Leicester City, clears it downfield, and Fatawu shows really good strength to wriggle past Walker-Peters and get the ball in field to Dewsbury Hall, who gives it away to Charles. Now Brooks for Southampton, quite a way in field for a change, David Brooks.
You see Dewsbury Hall reaction when he gave the ball away. That's what I love to see. That first 2-3 seconds, can you go and put pressure on it? What did he do? Dave Brooks had to go back. It's excellent. I've got to say, Fatawu as well, excellent defensive cover, trying to get in, because indeed he was out of position. He tried to get in at the other side of Kyle Walker-Peters successfully.
Leicester have it back, and it's Mavididi charging over the halfway line, cutting in from this left-hand touchline into the centre of the half, but he's beaten to it by James Breeze. He didn't really take the ball with him, Steffi Mavididi, and Southampton have it back. 7.5 to the break, 1-0 Leicester. Aribo inside his own half. Smallbone is ready to come on, presumably for Joe Rothwell, and Russell Martin's telling the players to put the ball out of play so they can make this change, because he feels that they're rather short-handed. And it is Joe Rothwell, who's now sat on his backside just shy of the halfway line, who's coming off, and Will Smallbone, the man that Rothwell replaced in the starting lineup tonight, is going to be on in his place. 1-0 Leicester.
Yeah, well, you look at the energy of Rothwell. I think it's important, I think when Leicester are in good possession of the ball, which they have been tonight, Rothwell's been that one that's getting forward, putting pressure on, trying to get also regain possession there. But Leicester have been good in possession. Smallbone coming on, you know what you're going to get, that energy as well. He seems to arrive in the box at the right time if given the right service, but very gifted technical player in my opinion.
It's been a breakthrough season for Will Smallbone at 24. 5 goals and 3 assists this season. An academy graduate at Southampton. Had a loan at Stoke City last season.
Some important goals, yeah. Fantastic player. He's one of them. He's nice on the eye. Can use both feet. Covers a lot of distance, but picks up very intelligent positions in the game as well.
So he's on. Rothwell is off. 5 minutes to half-time on TalkSport 2. Leicester City 1, Southampton 0. Abdul Fatawu 25 minutes into the first half, giving Leicester that cushion not only in the game but at the top of the championship table. Here's Shay Adams though for Southampton. Lovely ball with the outside of his right boot out to Adam Armstrong, who fell as he picked up the ball on the left wing but managed to get to his feet and keep possession for the visitors. Back to Aribo on halfway, just slowing the game down for a moment, and Leicester have got everybody back behind the ball. Chipped out to the right wing. David Brooks just steps in front of Justin. Lovely ball in field and gets it back from Smallbone. Rolls it to his left for Aribo, approaching the left-hand corner of the box. Now it's held up by Adam Armstrong. Rolled back to Shea Charles. Charles out to Walker-Peters. Further out on the left wing is Aribo, level with the edge of the area. Faced up by Ricardo Pereira. Thinks about going on the outside of Ricardo, but goes back instead 10 yards in field to Walker-Peters. Charles across to Bree. He just licks it back for Taylor Harwood-Bellis. Laid across to Shea Charles, very patient, and Leicester really have got everybody back behind the ball in their own defensive third now. Aribo can't get past his man at the edge of the area, brought away by Ricardo Pereira, showing Aribo a clean pair of heels, tries to slide in Vardy down the right hand side of the box. Bednarek gets there first, hits it out of play. It's given us a Leicester City corner at the north stand end. 1-0 to the Foxes.
Well, again, Southampton guilty of being far too patient in the attacking third. Just put the ball in the box. Then 4 or 5 shots in there. I know it might not be the game, but they can't overplay. Excellent defending, and then obviously Ricardo Pereira. It's not a bad ball. Jimmy Vardy's going to chase everything. A little bit fortunate with the bounce, but it's definitely a corner.
So Kiernan Dewsbury Hall goes across to the right hand side in the northeast corner in front of those travelling Southampton fans who've had precious little to cheer about in this opening half. They trail. Leicester have this corner. It's going to be a left-footed in-swinger from Dewsbury Hall, who raises his right arm, drills it in under the crossbar. Good claim by Alex McCarthy. Stays 1-0 to the Foxes, and we've got 3 minutes of the first half remaining.
Yeah, you know what, I think the ball from Dewsbury Hall, it's always comfortable for McCarthy to come out, good hands as well, but he's got no one to release. That's when, you know, a player can go half and half. I think it was Armstrong that broke his neck to try and be an option down the left hand side, but he's still only, 15-20 metres away from McCarthy there, and there's Leicester players that are back in defensive positions. So yeah, they just have to be a little bit more savvy. If you're Che Adams or you're David Brooks there, you're sitting, how many times did they just pass the ball around right on the point of the 18-yard box?
Well, here's Smallbow trying to be a bit more direct for Southampton down this near side the right, clips it further down the right wing, asking Bree to give chase, but it's well defended by the former St Vestergaard, and then Justin hits against Smallbone for a throw to the home side. And we've ticked round past 43 minutes here at the King Power on TalkSport 2. Throw in then for James Justin.
I think we spoke earlier about the changes that Enzo Maresca had made in this game tonight. Well, you can see the difference. You know, I think it's so important that they can't start with that nervousness that they had in the game at the weekend, and yeah, they've been excellent from the start.
Well, a bit of nervousness now. Southampton coming forward with Armstrong. Back comes Fatawu. Will it go out of play for a corner on this near side? Che Adams, she's trying to protect the ball, but an offside flag's gone up against the Southampton player.
How could it be offside? It's Fatawu that put the ball over.
Because I think if Adams hadn't gone for the ball, then the Leicester player would have the chance to get the ball and clear it.
Yeah, but it came off Fatawu and came back. Fatawu headed the ball.
Yeah, well, it's been given as an offside. Well, I don't understand that particularly, but there we go. Play on. Leicester have a goal kick. That'll please Russell Martin when he sees that back on his monitor. He's already upset that the goal that was scored by Abdul Fatawu he thought was offside. In fact, right as we speak, Russell Martin's again, John Busby's here yet again, the fourth official. Not HP. But it is only 1-0 to Leicester City in the last minute of the first half, and Southampton almost seized on a ball that was almost trodden on by Ricardo Pereira, but brought away silkily by Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Such a delight to watch. I remember watching him when he was on loan at Luton Town, when he was still coming through the Leicester Academy. I think myself and Perry Groves were at a game at Reading where he stuck out like the sorest of sore thumbs of all 20 outfield players that were out there. Just knew he was going to make a go of his career at Leicester. And he's got goals and assists this season, Dewsbury Hall, and a brilliant assist tonight for the Fatawu opener. We're about to find out how much added time we've got here at the end of this first half at the King Power. John Busby takes a break from arguing with both managers to hold up 3 minutes, which is about right. We've had a couple of stoppages, notably for Fatawu when he took one in the Crown Jewels. Here's Bednarek for Southampton, out to Walker Peters on the left hand side, infield for Shea Charles. Oh, he got away from Ndidi beautifully there and drifts into the Leicester half of the field, plays a 1-2 with Armstrong and goes again down the left hand side. Shea Charles now fast goes out to engage him over on that far side of the field. It's out of play. Southampton have a throw. 1-0 Leicester.
So I understand there why Ndidi gambles at the Southampton goal end, but you should never gamble at that end, because Southampton are so patient with it that they always go back. I think Ndidi has to just make sure that when he's trying to intercept the ball or guess where the player's going, he has to protect his own goal all the time, and then you can work from there. Ian.
First minute of 3 minimum added on has gone. 1-0 Leicester, but Southampton in possession over on the far left-hand side with Walker-Peters. Midway point of the Leicester half. Tries to get past Batteroo, who stuck to his task doggedly, but so too did Walker-Peters to get back to his feet and work the ball in field. Arsenal lead Chelsea by 1-0 at half-time over on Talk Sport. Leandro Trossard with the only goal of the game at Emirates Stadium, which will see Arsenal consolidate top spot in the Premier League. And Leicester have run a goal kick here away to our right-hand side as we drift towards half-time in the King Power, 1-0.
Well, you look at the what Batteroo brings in the attacking sense, but you cannot question defensively. You know, he's taken on that responsibility. He's got back. He's overcovered when players are out of position, and like you say, he's done the job very, very well down that whole right hand side. Sorry.
Hermansen thumps the goal kick downfield, flicked on by Vardy, but it's straight into the path of the Southampton left back Kyle Walker-Peters. Bednarek passes across his own 18-yard line to his right for Harwood Bellis. Another high press from Leicester City. Bree trying to play round it, gets it up to halfway, but it's intercepted by James Justin. Now Fatu makes a run in field. Justin tried to find him, but the ball was too straight and claimed by McCarthy. 1-0 Leicester.
I've just never seen that before. Did you see Vestergaard there? He went probably 20 metres in front of the defensive unit line just to get on small bone. I think it's excellent. You're taking responsibility, but then the three then just came in and was so compact. It's like he's went, right, I've got to go, because that's where the space is, that's where the danger is. If Smallbone gets it and turns and drives, it's causing all sorts of problems.
Free kick to Leicester City, as indeed he was manhandled by Smallbone. And they'll take their time over this free kick, I sense, Leicester City. They'll be happy to take this 1-goal lead into the break. Enzo Maresca prowling in front of his dugout, and it will be Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. This will probably be the last action of the first half, as a light drizzle kicks in the East Midlands to make the top surface probably that little bit greasier. Left-footed delivery to come from Dewsbury Hall, midway point of the Southampton half. Into the box, up go the heads, offside flag goes up, and Bobby Madley says back to the dressing rooms we go. But Leicester leading here by 1-0 as they get the second half underway and immediately get dispossessed by Southampton. Armstrong and Adams combining at the edge of the D. Adams tries to get a shot away, it's blocked, comes out to Joe Aribo, and Southampton right on the front foot at the start of the second half, and it wasn't even their kick-off. Now it's Harwood Bellis out to the right-hand side. Brooks finds Will Smallbone. Smallbone across to Adam Armstrong, who tries to sweep it towards goal but completely misses it. Great start from the visitors after what was a lacklustre first half from them. 1-0 to Leicester.
Yeah, and ball's coming into the box as well. You know, Smallbone finding himself in that position. As soon as he takes his first touch, left foot, it's in, and Armstrong just has to think about the connection there. He's been outstanding. What is it? He's got 20 goals in 43 league games this season. It's an excellent return, isn't it? But he's just got to make that final contact.
So Leicester in all blue, who are kicking from left to right as we look at the back of the West Stand. So they're heading for the South Stand, Leicester, away to our right in this second half. In all blue, Southampton in the red graded shirts, black shorts, white socks, heading for the North Stand to our left, and they've won it back, Southampton. I'll get to give you the lineups in a minute, but there's action happening again as Kyle Walker-Peters wriggles in field, finds Shea Adams in the centre of the Leicester half. Leicester haven't got the ball into the Southampton half of the field as yet since the restart. Now they will, because Southampton are giving the ball up. Winks charges over halfway with the ball at his feet, drifts out to the right-hand side. Dewsbury Hall dispossessed by Smallbone, and he brings the ball downfield, trying to spread play, and it's a bit more open now. Adams slips it through. David Brooks on a run, goes down under pressure from Justin. Great defending, and Hermansen dives on the loose ball, and Chris Iwelumo applauds the challenge from the Leicester City left back. 1-0 to the Foxes.
Well, I've got to say, Southampton have got the bit between the teeth at the minute, and they're going for it. Leicester have to be better on the ball. That ball in behind, Che Adams should get there first. James Justin, it's excellent defending, Ian. He's got in there, he's made sure he's if anything, no contact on the ball, but just puts that little bit of pressure on Che Adams.
Leicester have Hermansen in goal, Pereira fast, Vestergaard, Justin in their back four, and Didi, Winks, Dewsbury Hall, Batteroo the goal scorer, Vardy and Mavididi. Southampton had to make a change in the first half due to an injury to Rockwell. McCarthy the goalkeeper, Bree, Harwood Bellis, Bednarek, Walker-Peters, Aribo, Charles, and now Smallbone Armstrong, Adams and Brooks. A couple of minutes gone in the second half, and Southampton clearly have had a bit of flea in their ear from their manager in the changing rooms at the turnaround. They've come out with a real sense of purpose, because they don't want that 10-point gap to Leicester City. I'm sure the Southampton players would love to still have something to play for in their final two games, which are Stoke on Saturday and then Leeds at the final day of the season. Vardy can't get the cross in from tight to the dead ball line. He just couldn't wrap his foot round it, and it's out of play for a Southampton goal kick. 1-0 to Leicester.
Well, it's interesting there. Dewsbury Hall's done a little reverse pass to Vardy, and excellent. And I'm looking at, I don't know what Vardy was doing either. You take the shot on, which I think Dewsbury Hall's saying, look, you're in a great position, and he never even needed to break stride. Yeah, it's a tight angle and the ball's going away, but he's done that time and time again. If he makes a contact, the goal does not move. He knows where the goal is, so just make sure that you make the connection, and that's the question to McCarthy.
Throw in field, Adams for Southampton lofts the ball away from Wout Fassett, drops in the inside left channel for Adam Armstrong, Southampton's top scorer. Now Walker-Peters advancing down this near side of the left, gets to the byline and wins a corner kick off Ricardo Pereira, who threw himself at the ball to stop it getting into the danger area, but it is a corner kick to Southampton, their first of the game, and it's at the north stand end to our left. 1-0 Leicester.
Well, this second half has started, it's end to end, isn't it? Good quality. I've got to say both teams are using the ball, moving it very, very quickly, and got great energy in the team as well from both.
Brooks will take the corner, left-footed out swinger into the near post, cleared away by the first defender, Dewsbury Hall. Smallbone chasing after it to keep it in play on this near side, does well, gets there ahead of Mavididi and can pass it back to his keeper McCarthy, who gives it back to Will Smallbone inside his own half, plays it back in field to Walker-Peters. Bednarek and Harwood-Bellis just slow the game down for a moment. Armstrong now playing through the middle. Adams has moved out to the right flank for Southampton. They've switched positions. Now the ball's made its way over to Shea Adams on the right hand side for Southampton. Justin backpedaling, it goes back in field to Charles out to the right hand side, and it's Brooks who has to give it back to Shea Charles, and he's been forced back by Mavididi, but a lovely ball slid down the right wing for the cross from the right hand side from Bree, and that's volleyed back out from whence it came by that pass towards the Southampton fans, who are very encouraged by the start their side have made. 5 gone in the second half, but Leicester still lead by a goal to 0.
Yeah, Southampton really on top, really putting Leicester on the back foot at the minute. What I will say, James Justin, can you stop that ball from coming in? Vout fast, yeah, excellent positioning, and yeah, he was very thoughtful where the clearance was going, rather than just swinging the left foot at it.
Do you know what? I thought I sounded depressed when I called that Birmingham City goals that have gone in against us, but our producers just said that Arsenal have gone 2-0 upon his beloved Chelsea over on Talk Sport. Ben White's got the second for the Gunners. Free kick for a foul on Smallbone. This time it's a foul by Vestergaard, and Southampton will have the chance to work the ball into the box as Smallbone was taken down. Yeah, so Arsenal 2, Chelsea 0. I don't know what producer Will was expecting tonight, really, without Cole Palmer.
Yeah, depleted, wasn't it? Depleted squad.
So Ben White has got the second for the Gunners. 2-0 there, 1-0 here. Southampton, who've had a much better fist of it since the restart, have a free kick just to the right of centre in the middle of the Leicester half. Smallbone standing over it. There's 2 or 3 Southampton players standing in an offside position, with Leicester holding their defensive line pretty much at the edge of the D, really trying to compress the play. Up steps Smallbone, right-footed delivery. Aribo's the target, but well claimed by Mads Hermansen. You can hear the applause of Chris Awelimo alongside me for that claim.
Well, that's what you want from your goalkeeper. I think when you're under the cosh a little bit, you're under a little bit of pressure, and then you've got your goalkeeper, dominant hands, come out and go boom, have a bit of that, takes it well with both, and like you say, starts you off with an attack with Fatemi on the right hand side. That's exactly what you want from your goalkeeper. What does that do? It just instills confidence into that defensive unit in front of him.
Ball played out to the right hand side, and David Brooks for Southampton, who loses out and actually concedes a throw to Leicester City. 7 minutes gone in the second half on TalkSport 2. Leicester City 1, Southampton 0. Tomorrow night I'll be at Old Trafford with Mickey Gray for Manchester United against Sheffield United, whilst the Merseyside derby is live on TalkSport and 2 further games from the Premier League live and exclusive on the TalkSport app. Just get the app downloaded for your phone and you can take TalkSport and TalkSport 2 wherever you go. Leicester coming forward. Fatu has it inside the area, right hand side, shown onto his right foot by Walker Peters and swung wildly at the shot, and it went way wide for a goal kick. Not as strong on his right foot as he is on his left, with which he scored the only goal of the game.
I've got to say it's an excellent ball from Ndidi as well. So Fatu, I just felt that once he took his first touch, which was an excellent touch, he just has to speed it up a little bit. Speeds it up a little bit, takes it towards the Southampton goal there. He's definitely getting an opportunity, and a far easier opportunity than what he had in the end there.
Russell Martin on his haunches, AVB style, on the halfway line as Leicester come forward. Fatu's got in behind Walker Peters into the area right hand side, tries to slip it across for Vardy, and it was a foot in, I think, from Jan Bednarek that kept it out of harm's way for Southampton. Oh, terrible hat clearance, gives it back to Fatu, tries to go for goal with his left and curls it well wide. Goal kick, and once again Southampton almost architects of their own downfall. 1-0.
Well, I've got to say Fatu, excellent, done fantastically well, got in behind Kyle Walker-Peters, had no chance of getting back. What I don't understand is it was easier to go for goal than it was to pass it to Jamie Vardy there. I don't understand. It's like he'd already decided as he's running, I'm going to pass this, I'm going to pass this. Get the shot away. You're in the 18-yard box. You've got a clear sight of goal.
Vardy lays it off to Dewsbury Hall, edge of the area, tries to drive. It's blocked again by Jan Bednarek. And now Smallbone will flick it clear up to the halfway line, and Adam Armstrong, who jinks inside Ricardo Pereira, still inside his own half, and lays it back to Bednarek. Cambridge lead Wickham by a goal to nil. Ghassan Ahmad has been in very good goal scoring form of late for the U's, puts Cambridge ahead at the Abbey. That could see them safe tonight. 3-0 Arsenal. Kai Havertz. I'm giving that everything just to really wind my producer up that Kai Havertz has got the third there for the Gunners. Could be a cricket score. You just don't know. Will could get his revenge on me on Saturday when Huddersfield put their 4th past Birmingham. I don't know. Anyway, mind you and me are done by that point because we're at Derby Carlisle on Saturday lunchtime, aren't we, Chris?
Yep, that's us.
As League One comes to a conclusion in the regular season, can Derby secure automatic promotion with Portsmouth? Offside against the Southampton player, so it's going to be a free kick to Leicester City. So that goal for Cambridge, as they lead by a goal to nil, would put them onto 49 points, and Cheltenham would not be able to catch them, so they'd only really be able to catch Burton Albion at this point on the final day. Cheltenham, they play Stevenage, Cheltenham, Burton. They're up against Fleetwood, who are already relegated. 1-0 to Leicester, who are almost promoted. Won't be confirmed tonight, but this back-to-back wins at home after back-to-back defeats away would be a huge boost. And they're forcing Southampton to play dangerously out from their own area, but they do play out to the halfway line. There's a foul on Brooks by Justin, just shy of the halfway line. And it's worked back to Taylor Harwood-Bellis and then to the Arsenal goalkeeper Alex McCarthy.
They do take very big risks, don't they, defensively, but I've got to say Smallbone is always an outlet, Ian, always an outlet, always got an idea exactly where he's going. His first touch was excellent there.
Here is James Bree for Southampton, finds Adams, plays the ball to Armstrong, who's offside. The flag goes up. Good save by Hermansen, who hadn't seen the flag or heard the whistle, but Adam Armstrong was a good yard or two offside. But Adams in the centre of the Leicester half, great vision to see him and try and pick out the pass. 1-0 Leicester.
Yeah, it just shows you the danger. You know, I think always on the move, Armstrong there, but like you say, he's off. The two of them are offside there, and they just have to be switched on. They're so important. Brooks and Armstrong, you know, it's an easy one. You know, it's a little bit lazy there. Get yourself back on that couple, 2 yards, 3 yards, and then make the same run. Excellent strength from Fatu there, by the way.
Fatu clips the ball into the air, looking for the run of Vardy. Almost found its way through to Vardy, barged into Alex McCarthy, who dropped the ball for a moment. The referee was going to blow for a foul on Fatu by Kyle Walker-Peters on this near side, but allowed play to continue when Fatu wrestled his way clear of the Southampton left back. Smallbone Lovely ball clipped out to James Bree to cut out a couple of Leicester players, and now Bree brings the ball forward. Smallbones made a great run in the inside right channel, but instead Bree has laid it out to the right wing for David Brooks. Brooks swings a left-footed ball in. Up goes Hermansen. Oh, he drops it, but it goes behind him to Ricardo Pereira. He was under minimal pressure from Adam Armstrong there, Hermansen, but his handling let him down. Southampton win it back. Adam Armstrong on this near touchline, just down beneath our commentary position in the west stand. Gives it back to Bednarek. Now Smallbone again. Tried to play inside the fullback just in for the run of Brooks, but Brooks was caught on his heels, and Hermansen can collect. You're listening to Leicester 1, Southampton 0 in the EFL Championship, live on TalkSport 2 with McDonald's. Order McDelivery on the McDonald's app and get yourself some tasty rewards points. 18 plus. Terms and conditions apply. I was going to say begambleaware.org there. That doesn't work for fast food. I don't think.
Just looking at Hermansen there, he came out, I think just a little lapse in concentration. Comfortable, no one near him. It's actually come off his head and went on to Pereira there, so very fortunate.
That's the voice of Big Chris Sewellamo alongside me, Ian Danter, here at the King Power Stadium, where we're approaching the hour mark. And the light drizzle that we had just before half-time has relented. It's a throw to Leicester City, and Enzo Maresca is standing a good 6 yards outside his technical area, and the double change being readied by Southampton. Samuel Edozie and Ryan Manning will be on in a few moments' time, next time the ball goes out of play or if there's a free kick. Here's a Rebo for the Saints inside his own half. Shea Charles lays the ball off to Adam Armstrong on this left wing inside his own half. Has to give the ball back to Walker Peters. Now Bednarek and Harwood Bellis having to exchange passes again. Leicester will put the high press on. Smallbone once again tries to turn the ball around the corner. Comes off Vestergaard and out of play. This will allow the double change to be made by Russell Martin. And the players coming off for Southampton, James Bree is going to come off to allow Ryan Manning to come on. I would imagine that would mean Walker Peters would switch to right back, and Ryan Manning, who played for Russell Martin at Swansea, would come on and move to the left. And it's David Brooks that's making way for Samuel Edozie, the 21-year-old who scored 6 goals in his second season at Southampton, former Manchester City Academy graduate.
Yeah, Brooks has been quiet second half, I think, as much as Southampton have come into the game and livened up a lot. You know, I think good players that you're bringing on, good energy, understanding. You know, nothing changes. It's just fresh legs and...
Yes, it's like for like switches. Edozie's gone out to this near side, the left. Armstrong gone to the right-hand side. Chad Adams thought he could beat Mads Hermansen from the halfway line, even though Hermansen was not that far in front of his goal line, in truth. He's got it back. An hour gone on TalkSport 2. You're listening to EFL Live. Ian Dancer and Chris Sewellamo with you. Leicester City looking to go clear of those behind them in the race for a place in the Premier League. They will go 4 points clear of Leeds, 5 clear of Ipswich, and 10 clear of their opponents here tonight, Southampton, with this 1-0 scoreline that they currently have. And they've won the ball back. Vardy tries to lay it back to Mavididi with a little flick at the edge of the area, but it got away from Mavididi. But he still managed to get the ball back. Clips it across. And Didi heads it home! Brilliant header from the Nigerian through the legs of McCarthy. And Leicester City can almost taste the Premier League once again. Mavididi picks up the ball after a flick from Vardy, set himself for the cross, and indeed he made a great run across the defender, 6 yards out to nod it home, and Leicester City double their lead. It's Leicester City 2, Southampton 0.
It's an excellent goal, excellent ball in, excellent header. I'm looking at this now. Jamie Vardy, I thought he set it to battle with little one outside of his right foot to Mavididi. But watch this ball, wow! And Didi coming in at the right time. You can't defend that. If anything, you want your keeper to come out and do the ball is excellent. Mavididi doesn't have to beat his man, just moves it, cuts it round him. Excellent way to pass. Like you say, Didi just comes in, puts everything through it, like you say, top of the head, heads it down. McCarthy has no chance whatsoever. Through the legs as well on McCarthy. What a goal that is, Ian.
4th goal of the championship season for Wilfred and Didi. And now the King Power is really rocking. And Southampton are rocking in a different way. Heading for back-to-back defeats after 3 straight wins. Walker-Peters trying to do something about it for the Saints down that far right-hand side. Shea Charles will work it back into the centre circle. Hamza Chowdhury is going to be on in a moment for Leicester. Now Edozi's got in behind Ricardo Pereira down the left-hand side of the box, but as the ball drops over his shoulder, he can't collect it, goes off his toe end and out for a Leicester goal kick. 2-0.
That's a great ball from man, and what I don't understand with Edozi, the ball is lofted that high that it's coming basically straight down. You don't have to take a touch there, Ian. Let it bounce, just make sure you protect the ball on the bounce.
Well, Hamza Chowdhury played at right back here on Saturday lunchtime live on TalkSport against West Brom and was pretty much player of the match. And I got an eyebrow raised by Chris Wellerman like The Rock during WWE when he saw that Chowdhury wasn't playing tonight. But now Hamza Chowdhury gets his chance for Ricardo Pereira, who's coming off.
Well, Chowdhury was the best player against West Brom. It was okay, yeah, they got the result, but West Brom were dominant in the game. What I will say is that this is why Maresca's in charge. He made the small tweaks. They were very slow to start in the game, even though they got the goals. So they haven't been that tonight. They've been great from the start.
So academy graduate Hamza Chowdhury on for Ricardo Pereira, and Leicester 2 goals to the good. Arsenal have just gone 4-0 up on Chelsea. Kai Havertz has his second and Arsenal's fourth, and Doncaster are now 3-1 up at Colchester. Tom Anderson with the third for Donny. Do you know, the way they're playing, I wouldn't want to face Doncaster in the playoffs. If they solidify that spot in there, they'd be a worry for me.
So important though, so important to come into the playoffs in good form. I've been very fortunate, promoted 5 times, twice through the playoffs, and you know what? I'd say even Pips going up automatically. There's nothing that replicates the playoff final, fans going down to Wembley, or it was Millennium Stadium.
No, I can vouch for that. You're quite right, Chris. 25 minutes to go on TalkSport 2. Leicester in control, 2-0 up. They've just conceded a free kick for a foul on Shea Charles, midway point of his own half. Well, Southampton have got some serious work to do here. Otherwise, they are going to have to settle effectively for the playoffs. Wickham have equalised at Cambridge. That's a penalty from Luke Leahy, once of Bristol Rovers and Shrewsbury. I think Luke Leahy, he scored from the spot to bring Wickham level at the Abbey. So that's 1-1 there, and that means that Cambridge are back within striking distance of Cheltenham. 3 points clear and similar goal difference. And Cambridge on the final day are away at Port Vale, who are also already relegated back to League 2 after a couple of seasons. So when we bring you all those games on Saturday lunchtime on the TalkSport 2 network, we'll have potentially a good few issues to decide in League 1. Playoffs, relegation, and the one remaining automatic promotion spot. Southampton coming forward with Adam Armstrong, tries to whip across him from the right hand side, but is blocked by Justin, and Mavididi holding on to the ball on the far side sensibly gives it back to Justin. It's back to Bednarek and Vestergaard rather outside his own penalty area. Now here's Hermansen, the goalkeeper, being asked to clear first time, which he does really neatly up to Vardy. Was he being fouled by Shea Charles with about 10,000 Leicester fans?
There's 2 hands on the back. Vardy comes forward about 2 metres there, right in front of Madley. It's a foul. No matter if he doesn't need to fall to the ground for it to be a foul.
Well, he didn't complain too much. Edozi's offside again down this left-hand side as he got just ahead of Hamza Chowdhury. So it's a free kick to Leicester. Their next game is Monday night live on the TalkSport network at Preston. 8 o'clock kickoff at Deepdale for Leicester City, and then they host Blackburn here on that final Saturday of the regular season, the 4th of May. All those championship games, like the League 1 games this Saturday, kick off at 12:30.
You look at Blackburn, they're fighting for their lives as well, aren't they? They never, even after that win up at Ellen Road against Leeds,
and yet Sheffield Wednesday humbled them on the Sunday. Ainsley Pears had that moment to forget in the Blackburn goal.
Too many times.
Yeah.
This season.
So there's a few teams in it, and don't I know it, in the Championship relegation scrap. And what a game on Saturday. As part of Game Day Live, I know Alvin Martin's going to be at the John Smiths. Huddersfield against Birmingham City has massive ramifications at the bottom of the Championship. 5-0 to Arsenal against Chelsea. They might declare in a minute. Ben White's got a brace to match Kai Havertz with 2. Trossard with the other. And I don't think my producer's going to speak to me much for the rest of the night. If anybody else in TalkSport's house is listening, can they please look after Will? 68 minutes gone. Arsenal 5, Chelsea 0. Then it's 2-0 here to Leicester City. Southampton need some ideas from somewhere, Chris Iwelumo, and they're not coming.
Well, I think it's very telling, isn't it? You look at Russell Martin, the information that he gave his players. We have to agree that they came out and they were better.
At the start of this half, agreed,
everything
yes.
about them, they were better.
Yes.
I'd say the game, the goal, the second goal came in a very even game. It was end to end. Just they had that little bit of quality in the attacking third. I've got to say it was an excellent goal from Leicester. But since that, I've not seen that reaction from Southampton. You know, there's still plenty of time. You go and get that next goal, put Leicester under pressure, especially here at the King Power. You know, you just never know.
Here's a Rebo, little reverse ball to get Edozie away. Tries to play the ball across the face of goal, but the flag has gone up again against Samuel Edozie, and it's a marginal tight offside call, but it's gone Leicester's way. 2-0 to the Foxes.
Well, I'm sitting thinking he's looking right across the line. He surely cannot be off there, can he? You know what? The linesman's got it spot on. You look at the cut of the grass. He's got a it's an excellent decision.
So at the moment in the playoffs, it would be Ipswich 3rd, Southampton 4th, West Brom 5th, Norwich 6th. Now Hull City and Coventry have got something to say about 6th place. Hull play Coventry tomorrow night. We'll keep you updated with goals in that game, whilst myself and Mickey Great are at Old Trafford for Manchester United, Sheffield United. But that's a huge game tomorrow night at the Coventry Building Society Arena. Coventry have got 2 games in hand on most of the teams around them, but they need to win all the games in hand to try and get back in touch with Norwich in 6th spot. And indeed West Brom, who are on the same number of points, 72. West Brom have been 5th since about the year 1950, seems to me. Leicester trying to get away down the left-hand side with Mabadidi, but the referee has pulled play back for a foul by Adam Armstrong on James Justin, which the locals love because they've deemed it that they finally had a decision going their way for a change. 20 minutes to go. Leicester 2, Southampton 0.
Yeah, Robert Madley, he's let a lot go this evening. I've got to say, I've been impressed.
Well, it's not been a dirty game, has it?
No, it's not. But like you say, I think it's important that ones that, rather than we're hearing the whistle all the time, it stop, start. He's allowed both teams to keep that intensity and energy. So I think that's an important part of refereeing as well.
Colchester 1, Doncaster 4. Joe Ironside with another for Doncaster. That'll improve their goal difference in that race for a playoff place in League 2. Wilfred Ndidi, who scored Leicester's second, down the left-hand side, level with the area. Little 1-2 with Mabadidi and Dewsbury Hall. Drives it across the face of goal. It was just ahead of Jamie Vardy. Lovely work from Steffi Mabadidi, but his ball across the face of goal couldn't find a blue shirt. It's out for a throw, 2-0.
It's just that end product, isn't it? A little bit of quality, can you? Mabadidi, you know what? He's a little bit fortunate going through the legs there, but I'm expecting Vardy to come across the front, get some sort of contact, just steer it goals. All the pace was on the pass from Mabadidi there.
So Southampton have got less than 20 minutes to do something about this 2-0 scoreline. Otherwise they're going to be 10 points adrift of Leicester City, and they're going to be 5 points adrift of Ipswich, who have a game in hand on Southampton, and 6 points adrift of Leeds, and a vastly inferior goal difference. So this would effectively condemn Southampton to the playoffs as things stand. And with their away form, they've failed to win in 3 since they won 4-3 at Birmingham, and that's not what Russell Martin will want to see heading into a playoff campaign. Smallbone bringing the ball up to halfway for the Saints. Out to Edozie on this left-hand side. barged into by Harry Winks. Keeps his footing at Dozy, then goes down under a fantastic challenge from Hamza Chowdhury. Just pick it up where he left off on Saturday lunchtime, Christy Wellamo.
What a challenge that was. You heard it, didn't you? So strong, and then has the composure to, you know what, I'm having him all day. You look at him talking on his front foot, organising, but then was the ball there to re-win? Yes, it was.
Well, I wonder whether he's suddenly found his calling, Hamza Chowdhury, because as a defensive midfielder, that's where he's plied his trade mostly, but pressed into service at right back by Enzo Maresca. Well, he's enjoying it so far. Here's Ryan Manning for Southampton. Works the ball in field to Charles. Back to the midway point of the Leicester half. Goes back to the centre circle for Harwood Bellis. Now Bednarek finds Edozie. Tries to clip it in field for Aribo, but it's got away from Joe Aribo. Fastball lofted up to Mavadidi. Just shy of the halfway line. Goes under his boot, but that allows James Justin to hustle his way forward into the Southampton half. Oh, try to reverse pass to get Vardy away down the left-hand side of the box. Southampton only get it half clear. Dewsbury Hall flicks it out to Mavadidi, left-hand side, approaching the left-hand corner of the box. The cross into the area is guided back to his keeper by Manning, and Southampton clear, but only as far as Winks. And Leicester have it again, trying to hem Southampton in once more. Ndidi and Winks guided back to Vestergaard in the centre circle. And when they do move it, Leicester, they do move it much quicker than their opponents with 1 and 2 touch play.
Yeah, and you know what, when it can go forward into wide areas, into the 18-yard box, it goes there as well, you know. Being in complete control.
Chowdhury finds Fatawu, right-hand side, cuts in field, onto his left! Oh! What a wonderful, wonderful goal from Abdul Fatawu, his second of the night, Leicester's third. Celebrations amongst the Leicester bench as well as the Leicester players. That was really special from a special young talent. Abdul Fatawu sends Leicester just that little bit closer to a Premier League return. Brilliant goal. We were right behind it, and it looked special from the moment it left his boot. Leicester 3, Southampton 0.
Well, it's the goal of the game. You cannot say anything else. He has so much to do here, Ian. So much to do. As soon as he receives it, and he's done it all game, he just skips inside, goes through the two of them. What a finish this is. To be fair, the movement, do you see the movement on the ball? Look, he comes in between Kyle Walker-Peters and Manning, Sonny, and I'll tell you what, the strike, he knows exactly what he wants to do. He puts the laces through it, punches the ball, the depth of it, the accuracy of it. I've got to say, McCarthy has no chance in the Southampton goal. Goal of the night, goal of the game.
Enzo Maresca simply could not contain himself. And why not when you see a goal that struck as sweetly as that? We are going up. You heard that chant whilst Chris Iwelumo was describing that third goal. And Leicester are fully in control of their own destiny as they bid to go back to the Premier League at the first time of asking. Elsewhere, Barrow 1, Bradford 2. Bradford are back in front and back in the hunt for a playoff place. Right on 90 minutes, Tyler Smith for the Bantams. Kyle Walker-Peters, meantime, fourth pass, Southampton gets to the byline, right-hand side, but the ball comes off his toe end and behind for a goal kick to Leicester City. That's a massive goal for Bradford as well, up at Holker Street, to keep them in the hunt for a playoff place for the final day of League Two. But 3-0 to Leicester, and that again, in 8 of their last 11 home games, Leicester have scored 2 or more goals.
Yeah, it's impressive. But like you say, you do look at the quality that they have. Yeah, there's an extra pressure that comes when you are where you are, and it's crunch time to go up automatically. And I think they've handled it. Yeah, fortunate the weekend against West Brom, but look at this. This has been a masterclass, you know, from the first whistle. We've been in control of this game.
Edozie for Southampton. We've got just over 13 minutes to play on TalkSport 2. Leicester City 3, Southampton 0. Don't forget, 4 Premier League games across the network, including the TalkSport app. Tomorrow night, Crystal Palace, Newcastle, Bournemouth, Wolves on the app. And the Merseyside derby on TalkSport. 8 o'clock kickoff And Manchester United, Sheffield United here on TalkSport 2. Foul on Wout Fast just inside his own half gives Leicester City a free kick as Southampton almost have men over for a chance to get one back.
I'm just looking at Hamza Troudi. He was the first person to go to Wout Fast because he's the one that got caught out and kind of gave the ball away. Wout Fast has to go into like a 50-50 there and come off a little bit more soft. It was a little smile from Hamza Troudi as he just tapped him on the chest.
Steffi Mabadidi for Leicester City, down the left-hand side of the box on the far side. Oh, he wriggles clear of 2 or 3, rolling his foot on the ball. They're bringing out the exhibition stuff now.
He's been excellent as well tonight, Ian. He has Mabadidi on the left. You know, every time he wants the ball defensively, he does his job, but end product as well.
Fatu will want a hat-trick, picks it at right-hand corner of the box. Early ball into Vardy! Fantastic fourth from Leicester City. Fatu turns provider from the right-hand corner of the box. Saw the run of Vardy coming across the area, played it along the deck, and Vardy smashed it home for Leicester City 4, Southampton 0. Game over.
Yeah, it's an excellent goal. I've got to say the ball from Fatu puts it on a plate for Vardy, but he still had a lot to do. Got across the face of his man. The contact, the connection was excellent. But wait till you see this ball from Fatu. I'm giving Mabadidi a little bit of a compliment. As soon as Fatu gets the ball, you're sitting saying, can he go and get his hat-trick? No. Can he be the provider? Yes, he can. Look at this. It's an outstanding ball. Vardy makes his mind up. He makes a run there. What a finish that is. What a finish that is.
That is quintessential Jamie Vardy. 16 goals now this championship season. Remember, only 6 last season in that Premier League relegation campaign. Quite superbly finished. And there's still 11 minutes to go. Southampton are beaten, and a few Saints fans are already heading for the exits and contemplating what is now a playoff challenge rather than a tilt at the automatic promotion spots.
The big thing for Russell Martin is that you said, okay, that's you're resigned to the playoffs. It's important that this can batter the confidence in. They've got Stoke at St Mary's, and then they've got to go to Elland Road and try and get a win from somewhere before they go into those playoff games.
Well, Stephen Schumacher, I know, is here tonight, the Stoke City manager, watching on. We'll be making lots of notes about where he feels Southampton can be exploited at the Bet365 at the weekend. Incidentally, Cheltenham, massive result for them tonight. They have beaten Peterborough by 2-0 to keep themselves in with a faint chance of surviving on the final day. Edozie for Southampton gets to the byline, pulls it across the face of goal, but they've lost out. It's 4-on-2 as Leicester come forward. Dewsbury Hall, Vardy to his left, slips in Jamie Vardy, plays it across the face of goal, and Fatu has his hat-trick. Magnificent counter-attack. Leicester, a 5-star performance with 5 goals, a hat-trick for Fatu. Surely nobody can catch them now. Leicester City 5, Southampton 0.
The goals are just getting better. What a break that is. 4-on-2. Every pass was the right pass. Dewsbury Hall to Vardy, the weight was excellent, and that understanding between the two of them, by the way, Fatu and Vardy. What a pass, and what a finish. Put it on a plate for Fatu. Just look at this, the energy, the break. Dewsbury Hall gets it, and this is what he does. He drives at that two. What can he do? The weight of pass to Vardy was excellent. Look at Fatu. Look at this cut across. It's an excellent ball. The finish just says itself. Wow, what a goal that is.
Abdul Fatu has doubled his championship goal tally in one night. He's moved on to 6 goals for the season. 5-0 to Leicester, as emphatic as the scoreline suggests. And now they're making a double change, and Vardy, who's just assisted that 5th, is coming off, and Patson Daka is coming on to replace him. Dennis Pratt is also going to come on for Wilfred Ndidi. And Southampton, for their part, are making a couple of changes. Ryan Fraser and Jack Stevens are coming on, but Pratt and Daka for Ndidi and Vardy. 2 goal scorers tonight for Leicester City, and they have been, well, Ndidi's header for the second goal really calm the nerves inside the King Power. He gets a massive bear hug from his manager, and indeed he lifted him up in the air as he hugged him, because there's about a difference of a foot in height between the two of them.
That's brilliant. It's brilliant. We spoke about the Leicester, they dominate with the ball and 0-0 at half-time, the fans a little bit unrest, but Maresca, he's come in and he's implemented a style that's got them exactly where they are. I think he has to be applauded.
5-0 to Leicester City. So Aribo and Adams went off to allow Jack Stevens and Ryan Fraser to come on, incidentally, for those Southampton changes. 7 minutes to go. And this does not secure promotion, let's not forget, for Leicester City. But I remind you of the way that the table looks now. 94 points Leicester, 90 points Leeds, 89 points Ipswich. But Ipswich do have 3 games to play. After tonight, Leicester and Leeds only have 2 games to play. So it is still 2 from 3 for the automatic spots. And Ipswich will play next Saturday night. Hull are the hosts of the MKM Stadium. You'll hear that game on the TalkSport network. Colchester 1, Doncaster 4. Cambridge 1, Wycombe 1 is a final score at the Abbey. So that means in League 1, Cambridge are still not safe from relegation. Cheltenham can catch Burton and Cambridge on the final day, but Cheltenham have got to win and see what happens elsewhere. Cheltenham plays Stevenage. In League 2, those score lines that Barrow losing at home to Bradford, they're still playing, I think, Bradford 2-1 up. And Barrow would still be in the playoff zone, but only a point clear of Crawley with a game to play, and only 2 points clear of the team that are beating them tonight in Bradford. Casey McAteer and Connor Cody are going to be on shortly for Leicester City. And Kyle Walker-Peters wriggles his way down the right-hand side for Southampton as the visitors try and put some respectability on the scoreline, get a consolation. But most of that away end is now just blue seats staring at us, Chris Sabolomo. The Saints fans have seen enough, but they've got to still believe that the season can still be theirs, because you said it, going up via the playoffs can be arguably more fun and more celebratory than going up automatically.
Well, that's something I don't understand, because they're not going anywhere. The buses aren't leaving. So you know what, just stay, support, get behind, and just show that. I know it's disappointing 5-0, but there's a long way to go still, and the players need your support, so I don't quite understand that, Ian.
Bradford have beaten Barrow by 2-1. It's a massive result for Bradford to keep themselves in the hunt. So there's a few teams who can nab the final playoff spot in League 2. Crawley, Bradford and Walsall all have the chance, although Walsall's opportunities rather tricky. I think goal difference would go against Matt Sadler's in that instance. And Colchester, who've lost by 4-1 at home, they are 3 points clear of Sutton with a game to go, but they do have a goal difference of -21 to Sutton's -25. But here come the changes for Leicester, and a massive round of applause for Connor Cody, and indeed for the man who's replacing Yannick Vestergaard up against his old club tonight. And also coming off, Abdul Fataru, the hat-trick hero. What a night he's had. Arguably his best night in the Leicester City shirt. He's off and Casey McAteer is on.
Yeah, he's been outstanding, hasn't he? I think just defensively as well, he's ticked that box, got back when he had to, but the goals that he scored tonight, the goals that he's created himself, he's been outstanding. 10 out of 10. Did you ever, used to look in the paper the next day, didn't you? See if the journalists...
Well, I didn't. I wasn't a professional like you
10
were.
out of 10.
Even L'Equipe in France might have given him a 10 out of 10. You know how tight they are with their marking.
Yeah.
I could have scored a hat-trick in a game and they would still give me 2 out of 10, L'Equipe. All set of play, left-hand side. Chris Wellamo, always 10 out of 10 on TalkSport 2 when he's alongside me on commentary, and we're manacled together again on Saturday at Pride Park.
Always a pleasure, Ian. You know,
Derby against Carlisle, to see whether Derby can get that second automatic spot for promotion to the Championship with Portsmouth. They take on already relegated Carlisle, whilst Bolton need to beat Peterborough, who've lost at Cheltenham tonight, so they can't get automatic now, Peterborough. It is a straight shootout between the Rams and the Trotters for that second automatic spot. It'll all play out with us Saturday lunchtime on TalkSport 2. Southampton clear downfield. Stevens looking for Adam Armstrong, but Connor Cody onto the pitch, gets involved, but Smallbone wins it in the centre circle and finds Edozie on the right hand side. Fraser and Armstrong up in support, so too Smallbone. Edozie goes for the byline, puts it across, and a clearance by Connor Cody just onto the field to put it out of play for a corner kick. Fantastic defending from a man who's just come onto the field of play.
See, I don't think it matters if it's 5-0. I think if Leicester can see the goal, it puts a dampener on it. So fantastic defending from Connor Cody.
Well, I bet he's on a clean sheet bonus.
He'll be disappointed though. He'll be disappointed coming off the bench when he's played well on Saturday.
Armstrong tries to turn and shoot inside the area, but it's blocked by 2 or 3 Leicester players in front of him. Nobody in a blue shirt downfield, so the clearance will be picked up on halfway for Southampton by Kyle Walker-Peters. Heading towards the last minute of normal time. Towering header clear from Wout Faes. Pratt heads it up in the air. Brought down by Charles. Now Fraser. Back to halfway and Manning. Smallbone finds Ryan Fraser once again. The short, squat Southampton midfielder. Back to Bednarek on halfway. Harwood Bellis finds Walker-Peters just to the right of the centre circle. He's just having his shirt pulled, so a free kick awarded by Bobby Madley, and we're about to find out from John Busby, the fourth official, how many extra minutes we will have here in the East Midlands. And you can bet that there will be a huge roar when that final whistle is blown. Ball volleyed over his own crossbar by James Justin for a corner kick. Good swung cross from the left hand side by Ryan Manning, and that forced Justin to put it behind for another Southampton corner. 5-0 Leicester.
Yeah, he had to come across, I think, make some sort of contact there, James Justin. You're looking at Armstrong was coming on to it, wasn't he? And good defensive play.
Corner kick sent to the far post, but headed away by Justin. Into 5 minutes of minimum stoppage time. That's what we're in right now here at the King Power Stadium. 5 minutes to play, 5 goals to Leicester without reply from Southampton. To throw in from Manning, back to Charles, just ahead of the halfway line for the Saints. Walker-Peters, just ahead of the centre circle, finds Smallbone, shovels it out to Edozie in the right wing position. Mavididi on the cover, so too Justin. Edozie's not giving it up, he's done really well, works it infield to Will Smallbone, and then Jack Stevens picks it up, finds Smallbone again. Edozie into the box right hand side, being watched all the way by Justin. Stevens tries to clip it towards Adam Armstrong in front of goal, but Leicester head it clear. Southampton get it back, but then a ball fired infield by Walker-Peters. Wrong foots Will Smallbone, and Leicester City have a goal kick. And you were just pointing down at the benches there, Chris Wellamo.
Yeah, Enzo Maresca, that energy, still throwing on information. Usually you're thinking 5-0 sitting down, but it's those small moments, the small margins, making sure everyone's switched on, players that are coming on. He's actually he was talking to Casey McAteer as well. Information, positioning. It's excellent to see. It's infectious, isn't it? When the manager under pressure, it's all about winning games.
Well, he's learnt at the foot of Pep Guardiola, of course, in his time coaching at Manchester City. Coached in the Italian lower leagues. Started his playing career here in the UK, of course, with West Bromwich Albion, the team who he saw off here on Saturday as manager. And he's set to conclude his first season in English club management with a promotion. They're so close, but they're not quite there yet, even with this emphatic scoreline that they have tonight. 5-0 up, 2 minutes of stoppage time played on TalkSport 2. Arsenal have gone goal crazy as well tonight on TalkSport. They've scored 5 against Chelsea, still playing at Emirates Stadium. Arsenal going 3 points clear of Liverpool at the top of the table. Here is Shea Charles for Southampton. Fraser on this near touchline, forced back by Hamza Chowdhury, given away by Smallbone, fired into the chest of Dewsbury Hall by Winks, and then an attempt by Patson Daka to work the ball up to the edge of the area, but Southampton get it back, and now Samuel Edozie running in field from the halfway line, still has the ball at his feet, just clicks it round Chowdhury, but that allows James Justin coming across from left to right to step in front of him and win the ball back for Leicester. Winks finds Dewsbury Hall, carefully lays it off to Connor Cody, playing on the left side of the centre-back partnership, as was the man who he came on for, Vestergaard. So Leicester, Preston next up, next Monday. That's the night they want to secure promotion back to the Premier League. You'll hear that live with us on the TalkSport network next Monday evening. That is Monday night, 7 o'clock, TalkSport 2. Then but Hull City, Ipswich Town, another massive game from the Championship. Saturday night, 7:30 here on TalkSport 2. At the same time that Aston Villa Chelsea is live on TalkSport. And Dennis Pratt has gone down injured on the far side of the field after a hefty challenge. Looks in a bit of discomfort, and the physios have been asked on to go and treat him.
Yeah, it was a strong challenge from Harwood Bellis there. I don't think there was any need for the challenge, but it was the concern on James Justin's face. I'm just looking at it now on the monitor here. Pratt gets there first.
Ooh. Yeah, but
that's a card. He's got talking to
Christopher must just grab my left arm and cut off the flow of blood supply to my hand.
There's no need for it.
No, it's not a good challenge. It was right on the right, just above the right ankle of Dennis Pratt. Thankfully the foot wasn't fully planted.
Well, he's lucky, isn't he?
Yeah. Just let me remind you of the games we got tomorrow night as well on the app. Wolverhampton Wanderers Bournemouth and Crystal Palace Newcastle from 7 o'clock on the app. I don't think Dennis Pratt's going to be able to continue, but we'll see. Thursday night, I've mentioned what's going on tomorrow night. Thursday night, Brighton and Hove Albion Manchester City, Thursday night at 7. And then Friday night, Leeds United, if they get to respond to what Leicester have done tonight, they take on Queen's Park Rangers, who are safe. That's at the Loft. TalkSport 2 Friday night from 7. We played the 5 minutes of minimum stoppage time. Ball's back with Mads Hermansen. The Leicester City goalkeeper plays it out to Cody. Pratt waits to be asked back onto the field. I think he's going to be okay to continue. The roar around the King Power Stadium will tell you that Leicester City fans know they're almost there.